morning, everybody. We're just about to get started here. Hopefully everyone has had a wonderful week so far. Definitely excited to talk to everybody. And there's a lot that has been going on this past week. A lot of hardware news. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started here. What's up, fam bam? This is Chris Mizo here. Hopefully you guys had a wonderful and great week. The weather has been great here, at least hopefully the weather has been treating you guys well. And again, good morning and good evening or good afternoon, depending where you are around the world. So there's a lot of hardware news, we're hearing a lot of rumbles about price increases. And it's a bit scary, I gotta say, for a lot of us PC builders. And it's not just going to affect us PC builders, but it's also going to affect when it comes to consoles, when it comes to handhelds, even when it comes to laptops, when it comes to even smartphones. And it makes me truly curious to see how this year is going to treat when we get into the new smartphones and into the newer laptops, if they're going to end up having the same amount of RAM or maybe even less RAM. Of course, the costs are going up and they're astronomical. I mean, Zotac is talking about raising prices, but again, this is more of the supplier side when it comes over to China. But who knows how long that would take to truly reflect until it affects all of us. And another issue that we're all facing here is that it just seems like hardware is just constantly going up. And I'll definitely get into it a bit more. Of course, I'm sure it's not news anybody wants to hear. And of course, if you guys don't know, we do have a PC build that is coming up. Pretty much gathered a couple components so far. More than likely, we'll end up going next week over to Micro Center to probably pick up one of those bundles. We're gonna pick out one of Micro Center's bundles for a more or so a really decent deal. If you guys don't know, if you go over to Micro Center, if you have one near you, highly recommend going there. Or if you don't have one near you, you do also have Newegg. Newegg also has some great deals. You just got to know exactly where to look for those deals, which we will definitely get into it in a bit. So, now the one of the larger issues that we are facing too is that it seems that Xbox is also losing a lot of money on their sales, and it's rumored that they're losing up to 700%. I don't know if you guys got to check out that short just quite yet. If you did, hopefully you guys got saw pretty much what was happening with the whole Microsoft issue. That they were actually selling consoles at a loss. Of course, that's nothing new. That's usually what happens. People end up selling consoles at a loss because usually companies do, because they expect it all to come back, usually from software or from games that they usually have for the console. But it seems that they didn't expect such a large loss in hardware, that they're taking a loss on every sale, like a massive loss on every hardware sale that they are having with the Xbox Series X. So it makes you truly question how they're going to handle the whole Project Helios when that ends up happening. Project Helios, if Helix, I mean, sorry, not Helios. I always get them mixed up for some reason. I know everybody else does too. But when it comes to Project Helix, it seems that that it's going to be a bit on the shady side here. You don't know if they're going to truly go for a full PC hybrid or if they are, but I will definitely explain my thoughts coming up. Of course, you guys will definitely check it out in my latest upcoming video when it comes, when I do release it after the stream. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and open up the floodgates here, and I will open up the whole public side of it so we can get everybody in. All right, so there we go. So fam bam guys, we're gonna go ahead and get started with the show. Of course, you can feel free to ask any questions that you do have as you can feel free about any ask about any PC builds as I get this pretty much ready up and going. So right now I'm going to switch over and we're going to be here at we're going to look at the whole Micro Center side, which is right, not this. I don't think you guys care for that. Okay, so we'll go over to the Micro Center side here. And I want to share some of the wonderful deals that they do have. What's up, Pixel? Oh, that's awesome. That's hilarious. Thank you for coming in as always. Definitely appreciate you. Um, so for we just to update you guys for everyone that is interested in the whole Threadripper build here. Um, the Threadripper build we have about $170 pretty much raised for the Threadripper build. We are slowly but surely going to get there. It might take quite a bit, and by the time we get there, it might get up to it might even raise higher than that because at the current rate of how the prices are going, it seems that the pricing is going to consistently go up or constantly go up. And it's truly questionable. You got to ask, like, when do you think is going to be a stop limit? But the problem is there's not going to be any true stop limit. Oh, let me remove that poll. That was from earlier this week. I do apologize for that, guys. But I will definitely throw up a poll in a bit. Okay. So, what's up, Alex? Let me see. What's up, Alex? Was lucky I'm buying a 5070. Um, well, currently with the 5070s, luckily they haven't been moving too heavily on pricing. So the 5070s haven't shot up in price, not much. It's more so the ones that have to worry are going to be the ones that are purchasing the higher models like the RTX 5080s, RTX 5070 Ti's, maybe RTX 5090s. Yes, they definitely certainly have to worry if anyone is planning to get a RTX 5090 as it contains a lot of VRAM. So any GPU out there that truly contains like a lot of VRAM, such as those models, then yes, you can expect some fluctuation there. What's up, Egyptian? How's the vacation? Hopefully you're loving it. It's well deserved. You definitely worked hard for that. You bought it for 530. Yeah, so pretty much it's holding. You bought the 50, what was it? The 56 5070. That's right. You bought the 5070. I thought for some reason I was thinking you had the 5060 Ti. The 5070, yeah, so far the prices have been holding. I haven't seen too much fluctuation on that at least. But there could be future fluctuation on GPUs such as that. But let's go ahead and take a look because I'll show you. Like when it comes to the RTX 5070, I don't, for anyone that is interested in that specific model, more than likely you'll be okay. Ernesto, what's going on? What's up? Zotac 5070 overclock. Okay. So let's see. The 5070s. Doesn't look okay. Let me open this up. Doesn't actually look like they have. Oh, yeah, there we go. Perfect. So the 5070s, pretty much the 5070s for anyone that is looking to get 5070s, they're pretty much holding for the most part. It hasn't seen a huge jump. Oh, nice. Enjoy the pool, man. I know it's hot. Yes, happy Saturday. Happy Saturday, Ernesto. Yeah, for anyone with a 5070, you don't have to be concerned or if you're planning to get one. It seems like they've been holding pretty much well in the price. It hasn't like really fluctuated with the 5070s. It's more so anything higher than the 5070. If it's once it goes over to 5070 Ti, that's when you can expect the pricing to change. What will also definitely change on this, of course, are the RTX 50 Super series if they do end up coming out with that. If they come out with the 50 series Super, then it's the 50 Super series, then you can expect that the pricing might adjust somewhat because of the VRAM. Again, that's the main reason why a lot of the pricing is going up is because of that. And it's all thanks to also to AI hyperscalers and also AI servers where a lot of it's going to. So Pixel says, I think I got my new bill. I'll start out with a 2070 Super and then upgrade to a 16 gigabyte 9060 XT or 5060 Super if the rumors are true. Okay, so the 5060 won't be a Super, but it will have a 12 gigabyte variant. The 5060s have of course, they have like just the regular one where it's 8 gigabytes, but the rumor is that they might have the 12 gigabyte variant because they're coming out with they have a new G7 where they can actually put 3 gigabytes per chip, which could certainly be achievable for the 5060 for anyone that is looking to try to get a GPU such as that. Or the 9060 XT is honestly one of like a great choice too for anybody that wants to just focus on gaming. So Alex got the KT. Oh, okay. You got the KTC. In fact, there is a awesome deal I do gotta share with you guys. In fact, I'll share it with you. And speaking of monitors, for anyone that is looking for monitors here, there is one I do have to bring up in specific for those who are looking for a OLED model. Now, the OLED model of Asus's this belongs to Asus, and let me see the exact model because they actually have this monitor for under like if you could order Newegg where you are, you can actually get this monitor for a really decent deal. I'll share the deal with you guys for those who are interested in it. But you can actually pick this monitor up. It's a 1440p IPS display and it's OLED. So you can actually pick this up. It's the XG27, so it is a 1440 monitor. It's a 2K monitor. It also does have 240 hertz refresh rate. You could actually pick it up as low, I think, as a 430 because they also have a coupon code on it. So it's finally under that $500 mark for anyone that is looking to get a OLED monitor. Okay, the KTC, I believe, I'm familiar with the KTC. What's up, Havy? How's everything? Have you got to hear from Liam Lee? I know you've been dying to get your fans back here. So for anyone that is interested in it, here it is. And now it says in Vancouver, hardware prices have been holding for 3 months. 5090s went up for about $500 in the last month. MSI Lightning went down. But yeah, it's expensive as it is. I mean, if it went down 1,000, really, that's pretty insane actually, because there was such a limited supply when it came to those cards, when it came to the Lightning, that you would think it would turn into more of a collector's series. It makes me curious about it to see if Micro Center has done any adjustments themselves on that card. And I have to, yeah, that's with include out of stock items. No, they don't even stock it now. They don't even have it in store. So I guess they took whatever limited supply at the Micro Centers because, again, not too many people are going to go into a Micro Center to look for it. So let me see here. What's up, Hidden? Great to see you. Z-Man, what's going on? Happy to see you guys. Yeah, that's pretty awesome that you got to do some of that testing, Hidden. I do, that I do still have to come up with some. I have to come out with some procedures for it for the whole testing of memory. But welcome back, Ernesto. Yeah, I know. I'm pretty shocked. That's some amazing findings. If you guys don't know, I got to share you some of his findings here. I'm gonna open up the Discord so you guys can definitely check this out. And if you take a look at his findings here, let's see, right there. I'm gonna go over to the PC hardware side. Okay, so if you take a look at his findings here, I think it'll be under the chat. Nope. Trying to open it up, guys. You know what? Let me go on this side. I bet you it'll come up then. There we go. Beautiful. So to add context to this, Hidden says he came out with if he asked if I had any testing procedures, and he's done some testing. And specifically, he's tested a single stick of Corsair of 6400 megahertz of CL32, and it was even faster than the two sticks of his T-Force 6000 megahertz of CL38. So could you imagine that? It's actually quicker than actually running a dual RAM system, because usually that's usually best in order for you to get the best speeds possible. But a single stick was actually half as fast as two sticks of Corsair. So, which is again wild. As he went further down, he pretty much explains his testing method, where he adjusted the U clock and the memory clock. The memory controller was running at 3200 megahertz on the 6400 mega transfers, at 3000 megahertz on the 6000. The issue was the benchmark, like some CPUs are not able to run the memory controller at 3200. And that could be more typical because like when it comes to certain processors, they will run the memory different. And I assume that let me add in here real quick. So if he's running on Expo, he's running it on a AMD system. Usually, Intel doesn't run on Expo systems; they run on XMP. So the memory controller is overclocked at 6400. So that's why I don't have any DRAM frequency. So the thing is, that what makes 6400 good is because you can run high memory controller frequency if your CPU can do that. And a lot of that has to do more or so when it comes to the actual Infinity Cache. That's also a big part of it through AMD. That certainly does help it out there. So Z-Man says prices going up again, huh? Why am I not surprised? I think a lot of people are certainly not surprised when they hear the pricing pretty much go up when they hear hardware anymore. And there's a lot of evidence pointing to it, and it's just not one source, it's through many. Yeah, feel free. I would love to know. Once I do have the procedures, I will definitely have the whole bullets up on into Discord. I'll post it up on YouTube. And in fact, we were speaking of this. We could even go live and kind of test out some memory. Of course, if we test out memory, I'm gonna have to get like a different camera controller, because certain things you cannot stream onto from a PC unless you have a capture card, which is obviously going into the BIOS. Havy says, yes, found the fault fan, and also Lean Lee is giving me the fans. Awesome. I thought they would. No problems there, right? So Alex says, I got the 27-inch fast QHD for about 120. Nice. Enjoy it. So just ordered the Y70 Touch White, all Lian Li SL LCD fans, and X870E Pro Ice White. Got the motherboard for 200. That's awesome. See, there's pretty much deals everywhere if you truly know where to look. The best deals, honestly, are going to be in the bundles. And a lot of people certainly ask why the bundles are so cheap, and it's because I know that a lot of these retailers are trying to pretty much get rid of their extra supply. They're pretty much their oversupply. But if you take a look at a lot of their bundles, this is where they offer a lot of the great deals. Now you could go shop by bundles for AMD and Intel, and the same goes for Newegg. You can actually go on Newegg and be able to get a lot of these bundles. If you believe that AM5 is still expensive, you can actually still get it for a very relatively great deal, because Micro Center has an exclusive for the 7500 X3D, as long as if you get their motherboard and their RAM bundle. Oh, even on Amazon, that's a good find. F. Sullivan, feel free to. Oh yeah, that's right. You can't post on the. If you could post it onto Discord, feel free to post it on Discord. I will send it out to the chat for everyone to that doesn't have a Micro Center available near them. Now the other area where you can look for good deals is if you go onto Newegg itself. Newegg usually has some great deals. If you know exactly where to look. Of course, they got the we'll definitely talk about this, which is going to be the Fantastic sale, and they will also have the Amazon Prime Day that will be coming up actually sometime soon. They pretty much start around the same time for the most part, but we will definitely share a lot of deals once those days come up. But as of now, if you're certainly desperate in order for you to be able to get your hands onto like some sort of kit, you can easily look at a specific kit. For example, if you want a Asus F Gaming AM5 board, and you look onto Newegg, this is where you find a lot of the bundles. Now, I know Newegg doesn't make it as obvious. They do have their PC builder, but it's going to seem that it's priced too expensive for there. So, have I seen the new? Yeah, I have. It's a beautiful case. Beautiful case. I definitely think it's a great option for anybody that does want to get their hands on something like a Fantex case. A lot of people love them for good reason. So six found you from. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you for finding me. Thank you for finding me through Frog Boy. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's definitely a good guy. But let's go into the motherboards here. And if you take a look down here to the bottom, they actually have all the items pretty much hidden that will come with the motherboard. Now, of course, you could go for this. This is like your typical motherboards that you can get from. The only thing affordable right now is PC. You're not kidding. You are not kidding. And some PC cases are even expensive as it is. You can get some nice, yeah, absolutely. Like there's some cases you could actually get like for $50 or $60. So Bob Parkinson says, speaking of cases, did that Japan favored a Cooler Master case coming? No, I don't believe it has. Not just quite yet. But I will definitely find out. I'll find out more about it. Once I do, I'll definitely let you know exactly when it comes out. And because I know some people are definitely hyped about it. Corsair also has their I don't know if you guys got to see it. It's pretty expensive actually. It's their they actually have a specific Corsair kit. I'll show you. It is the Shugo kit. And some of you guys probably are like, man, this is they're charging $600 for the kit. This one's a 32 gigabyte kit. And this is up for 600. It's kind of weird how they put it as 32 gigabyte kit, but they also have their kits as well. That's a big thing. That would go well with as part of the theme. So would you be interested in taking a look at a new computer case with five? Oh yeah, as a case, it would be very interesting. And the reason why I always want to do or wanted to do pretty much like a retro build, and I actually got a case that I've was given by a friend of mine's. Yeah, only 32. Yeah, I need more RAM than that. Yeah, I think some people do. Especially if you're going to go into like LLMs and everything. The best kit that they currently have is 32 gigabytes. That's it. But I did find actually a throwback case. I think it's a gateway. It's like one of the older gateways. So if we do use this case, we're gonna have to use a micro ATX board, or more than likely a micro ATX or some sort of ITX board that can fit in there. Also gonna have to figure out some ways to get better ventilation because, as you guys know, like when it comes to those older cases, they don't have the ventilation in the front or the top. I mean, you could always remove the drives and introduce air that way, airflow at least. Maybe fit up to 240, but I gotta kind of like measure it out and uh, probably have to do some custom cutting really to add some airflow into the case. But I'll definitely look into it a bit more, or maybe try to, because I want to keep it a sleeper. I don't want it too obvious as that it was modified for a modern PC. So, what was your favorite $100 case? Mine was the MSI Magpano 100R. When you put your hands on it, it will be like, oh, this is underpriced. Yeah, there's a lot of cases like that. I gotta say, one of the most underrated cases, and a lot of people really overlook this. It's Montech. Montech is actually really good. Um, they're not expensive cases, and sure they feel premium, but you spend so little money on them. Like take a look at this, the King, right? not the king. They actually have even lower ones. Like if you take a look at the Air, it's only 80 bucks for a case like this. But the cases actually feel really good when it comes to Montech. And this is the I used the Monte. Oh, perfect. There you go. That's oh, I apologize for that. That it's so then I remember to go. It's good that you always got a backup plan. There's a reason why MSI stands for make smarter investments. Yes, yes, absolutely. At I know. I really don't like that about the Twitch side of things. I feel like that messes up the flow in a bit. Like when it comes for people coming in on Twitch. So maybe it's the 903. I'm confused. The 903. The is it the 903? I believe I used the 903 for one of the builds, and the 903 is an excellent case. And it has USB-C. It also has the you could use USB 3.2 up on the top. Has the audio microphone jack, power button. It even has a reset button on this case, and it's all 80 bucks. Really easy to work with. It gives you plenty of room. Not an expert sleeper PCs, but liked working with the Dell Dimension 3000 chassis. Only downside is the front panel I/O uses some priority. Oh, that sucks. So while I purchased it, yeah, I remember you were telling me you got that. Did it come in? Did you get that? Did that case finally come in? The only thing is, I really don't like this one, the one side panel that is really thin metal, which is this. You're talking about this side right here, right? That can be I can understand why. And if you really truly like are the type like if you're not great at wiring a PC, you could and I know Hidden Bull can tell you like you can actually end up bending the metal like of the case. Like but if you actually like pack up your wires, your cables to your power supply and you don't pack it well, it will actually kind of like push out a little bit on the metal. So if you don't, so make sure that if you do wire it, try to wire it well. Try to have it organized enough and spread out enough to where it's not going to end up causing the PC case to bulge. But Montech actually has some decent uh, cases, and here goes another one, 65 bucks for a case like this. So that is the only thing to certainly watch for. But again, for the pricing, it's truly not that bad. And the other one Hidden actually is talking about is the Pano R. I'll show you the Pano 100R. I was gonna say what is this? Maybe they don't have it here. We'll go up here. We'll look for it. This is the RZ. Actually, yeah, that is a great case. I actually built with I remember doing a build. This was back on it wasn't this exact case, but it was one of MSI cases. And I think it was the 13th gen. I think it was a Raptor Lake build that I did. And that had I used pretty much a similar case such as this. So I had to bend internals of my case with a crowbar. Oh, really? Wow. That's a pretty soft metal is good to have sometimes. That's pretty funny though. You actually did that. Um, the exact case is very good for the yes, it's awesome. It is a beautiful case actually. It's a lot of fun to build with it. For anybody that is just joining in, we do have a Discord. If you want to share any links or anything like that, or if you have any personal questions you would like to ask, that you're thinking about doing a PC build, feel free to join in on Discord. The link is posted. I'll post it up on I know let me just get this, guys. And that's the link right there, highlighted for anybody that is interested in joining in. So let me go here real quick, guys. Because I don't think it posted. I'll post the link right here for you guys. There you go. For anybody on 2X. Okay. So the metal is very thick, but has nice dust filters. It's been to be honest, it's been a little while since I built with that case, so it's like I don't remember as well because it was again back on the 13th gen, so it's like roughly what, like 3 years ago, 3 years ago. Yeah, like about 3 years ago. But it is a very awesome case. There's another one that's actually pretty good is NZXT. NZXT actually has some pretty awesome cases too. Of course, that not everyone's a fan of everything that they do NZXT, especially with when it comes to their methods. There's certain methods about their kind of like lease to buy type of thing. I'm sure you've heard that whole controversy, but they actually have some decent cases. Like here we go. The their subscriptions. Here you go. Flex 1 subscription PC, Flex 2 subscription PC. This is really interesting, I gotta say. It's like you're leasing a PC. You get a 14400F for 79 a month, RTX 5060. Is this truly the way that we're pretty much headed as a society is subscription PCs? Because speaking of which, that kind of brings me back to the topic for anyone that is just joining in and curious about the whole hardware pricing. It is rumored that it is going to actually double in pricing, and this is confirmed from not just one manufacturer but quite a few. There's actually I know MSI being one of the ones that are saying that the pricing could go up astronomically. Same when it comes to you see Xbox, how they're losing tons of money. Hopefully, you guys got to check out that short, check out the expos that I put up on it. But they are unfortunately losing a ton of money because of this. So this is the exact case for a very good price. The metal is, oh yeah, I can't even blame them. I've been considered renting to own PC. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's pretty rough. But if anybody is interested in purchasing PCs, speaking of which, make sure to check out Hidden. I'm sure he has his website. And of course, you can feel free to check out my website as well when it comes to purchasing a PC. You can, if you want a specific custom build, feel free to send the inquiry in. I will certainly take a look at it. And for those who just want a PC pretty much ready to go, I do have some pretty much for checkout. Check it out in the Mizo mods page. You check out the Mizo mods page. You can purchase a PC from there. So Bob says, I've actually decided to challenge myself with game development. I'm working with the limitations of a Xbox 360. Who doesn't have at least five? Yeah, that is actually a great idea because I feel that developers are certainly should add a bit more flexibility. I'm also hearing rumors too. This is pretty wild though. I'm hearing rumors that Intel is going to bring back another Raptor Lake refresh, like a different variation of it, and it's going to be based on DDR4. So if they're doing something like this kind of gives you a good indication that pricing for RAM is not going to truly adjust any, not for a little while. And rumor has it too with SK Hynix and Nvidia. If you guys did not hear, they did pact a partnership together to where they will build more AI, more AI control centers. They're gonna add more hyperscalers and servers. So pretty much expand on the whole AI front. So Hidden says, I don't want to take your customers. I have not. I have not and will not post my info on your socials. Oh, okay. That's okay. So you're saying I choose the right time to build a all-white PC. It's actually the most premium time. You're in that weird phase where you're like at the moment everything is pretty much like in that stagnant level to where it's it seems like this is like right when we're getting used to the pricing as it is now. You're getting used to the pricing that you're seeing right now, and now it's almost seeming like it's a decent deal to get it. Even though that the RAM is like roughly about like 400 average, if you are to get a kit that of DDR5. Now, of course, if you guys want to question the whole NZXT subscription PCs, I would love to hear. because I could honestly see a lot more companies doing it this way. What I would be concerned with though, like if you do lease out these PCs, uh, how well would this truly work? Would you really trust them to actually send back the PC? I mean, uh, I guess maybe, I guess after so many months, is there a time when you're like, okay, this guy already uh, pretty much paid off this like PC. He could pretty much have it. I wonder if NZXT's like that, but I didn't really get too deep into their whole issues that they're running into as it is. But if you are considering a PC and you're looking to build a PC, uh, all white PC looks more amazing in person. I agree, they do. It's hard to get a good picture of a white PC. A lot of companies used to lease laptops. Ours did. Yeah, laptops I could see. Laptops are more realistic because at least they're easy to send back. A PC, not so much. Imagine trying to send a PC back and forth with a 5090 in there or something. That would that would wreak havoc. We would keep them for 3 years or so and then swap them out. So they send it back, but they are like, here you go, drop kick it to the UPS store. Uh, and we're just a silly contribution company. So yeah, it's pretty wild, right? That that's something that was like a big thing is leasing. All I need is a white AIO and white RAM. Oh, you can find those at Sullivan, but I really do want to pay for what I paid for my 5080 for 64. Oh, are you still looking for 64 gigabytes? If you are looking for 64 gigabytes, they do have the crucials where they have all white and they're not nearly as expensive. They're actually pretty decent in pricing. So actually, the market also takes me back to the idea of Raspberry Pi powered game consoles. It seems that more and more people are actually experimenting with Raspberry Pi in that sense. I actually just was reading about what was it? There was something that I was just reading about Raspberry Pi where they're thinking of trying to pretty much create more games on it. So when a PC now costs as much as a car, it does make sense to think about financing. Yeah, I mean, you look at a 5090, like it's just insane already as the cost go up when it comes to the GPU as it is. So if you take a look at probably the lowest model 5090, let's see, the lowest model 5090 is still going to be really expensive as it is. The lowest price, $3099. So $3,099 for the lowest possible model of a 5090. And then you look at the next tier up, it just immediately shoots up to $3,599. And this one, of course, the one that is the lowest tier possible is going to us. The Ouya needs to come back. Who knows? Ouya might come out with the Ouya 2 at this point. I have only sold one 5090. Nobody can. I know. I'm actually afraid to purchase any 5090s because I don't feel that people will purchase them unless you have a very specific person that is more getting into the whole LLMs. I feel like that's the only way somebody would actually end up purchasing any of these pre-built PCs. If for most people, they're not going to purchase a 5090 to just pretty much game on. So so Jonah. So I can only sold one 5090. Nobody can afford. Yeah, unfortunately, I think this is the case for many people. It's expensive. The most expensive one, I believe. Let's see if they have it. No, they don't. The most expensive one is the Asus NVIDIA RTX 5090 Astral, the liquid cooled one. That's the only one that they have, really. My 6000 Blackwell is running fine. Had a small scare waking my PC from sleep mode with no display, but it worked after a reboot. I wonder if it's just sometimes they'll do that. It'll fall into like a deep sleep state. So yeah, you can overclock a 5080 to get a 4090 performance for 1000. No, thank you on the 5090. And I'll tell you what, we'll never forget the fact when Nvidia pretty much went out and said that the RTX 5070 could perform just as well as a RTX 4090. And that was just so false in many ways. Even with the frame generation, I just could not get it to run at the levels of a 4090. Unless I'd love to hear if you guys were able to do it yourselves, if you were able to push it to that extreme. But I was never able to get a 5070 to the 4090 levels. But that is the one where I kind of wish I kept the 4090 because I feel like that is like one of those weird pieces or one of the weird GPUs out there that actually is going to end up building in value. And I feel that it's more rare than it seems. I remember the 4090 actually being like a really easy card to get at the time. Like after it first came out, like roughly like probably like 3 or 4 months later, the 4090 was the type of card where it was pretty much easy to buy. You could purchase it off Newegg, no issue. You could purchase it off Amazon, no issue. But oh, that makes a lot more sense. So the 4090s got burned up in mining. That makes more sense then, if that's the case. I remember when Nvidia was supposed to end up doing the special cards for mining. They were going to have that variant where you can actually use it strictly for mining, but that seems like that's a sudden change in heart. But same with the 3090s. Yeah, no wonder why. That's such a shame. My 5080s beat my 4090 and still Nomad. Really? Well, you're 58. What about a 5070 though? That's the question. How about the 5070? Saw the new ASUS ROG equalizer. Yes. Yes, it got burned. There's it's a really interesting case. There's not a lot of details on that. But that whole 5090 cable that ended up getting burnt was for the fact that and most of the time when it comes to these 12 volt high power ports, it's because they never sit perfectly flush onto the actual pins. So you have to make sure that all the pins are truly connected. You have any pin that's not connected, of course, it's going to cause some resistance and it's going to cause imbalance when it comes to the power load of the cable, and then it ends up burning up. So obviously, the problem is not resolved because of it. If it was supposed to be designed to the point where no matter what happens, no matter what pins are not being used, that it would somehow equalize. That was the whole key word of it. Equalize the power flow. So have the 4090 in my main gaming PC holding it until it dies. Yeah, I mean hold on to it. That 4090 is a legend. For anyone that still has a 4090, keep it. Keep the 4090. It's not. I'll tell you right now, not worth selling. Even like after until it's like if you do wear it out to the point where the GPU is no good, definitely a great collector's item to have or decorate with because I think that's a awesome card. So the equalizer cable did not resolve any of the issues. Actually, Unico brought up another cable, which I found that was pretty interesting by Corsair that actually ran into an issue, which I will find up and share with you guys. So when people say make sure to plug it in good, it doesn't mean you push it on harder. You got to wiggle it around. Yeah, exactly. You got to make sure to be really careful when to plug it in. And usually they click. Some people will push it in and say, "Yeah, I pushed it in hard," but most people might not hear the click. And if you usually don't hear like that click where it's that last moment where it's actually connected flush, then usually that connection is no good. Now, somebody actually ran into an issue with a 12 volt high power port where they actually inspected it each month. And that's also not a great idea as well, and I'll explain why. And the reason why that's not good to check your 12 volt high power port each month is because you get so many uses out of your cables when you plug in and you plug out. Typically, the life of it is usually about like 20, I think it's like 20 to 25. Uh, like pretty much push and pulls, like when it comes to the cable. Then after that, it's good to replace it because then the harness becomes worn. So if anyone is constantly doing that with their card, then at least have the money to purchase another cable to replace it, because they could only be plugged in and out so many times here. So with the 4090, no need for a 5090, 6090, or maybe, yeah, yeah. Honestly, that might be the case, and some people are truly interested to see if Nvidia will come out with a 5090 Super. But I really doubt that would happen if they did come out with some sort of super. That they just wouldn't make any sense for them. So I have a ROG Strix 4090 bought for 900 bucks in 2023. I've had offers all the way up to 2000. Really? That's pretty wild. Yeah, just make sure they don't know where you live. Push in the connector, hold it firmly, and never let go. There you go. See, the contacts work hardened, so try to plug it in a few times as possible. And never let it go. Can you imagine? And I was like, you're just playing your Battlefield, and at the same time you're holding your 12-volt high power port in, and you're just using playing Battlefield with one hand on the keyboard. You have to get really good at multitasking. Unfortunately, I just got it for half price since I got the Strix PSU, since I have a 5090. So, you know that. So, out of everybody here, I have to ask, anybody who was able to be lucky enough and fortunate enough to be able to get a RTX 5090, were you able to get it without a actual bundle? Because many people I know who had trouble getting a 5090, they would have to purchase some sort of bundle in order for them to be able to obtain the 5090. Or were you able to be lucky enough to be able just to purchase the GPU itself? And it makes me wonder too, like, how is Nvidia going to handle the next production when it comes to GPUs? Will they have enough supply? It was already bad enough when it came to the 50 series. If you guys remember, the 50 series, when they ended up releasing the fit, but I have a bundle something similar, no bundle for. Yeah, some people did it, some people didn't. I tackled it. Yeah, that's a great idea. You have to be so precise. If you tack welded it, man, I give you props, because those pins are tiny. Without it, actually connecting another pin to it by accident. What's up, JH? Just got up. I'm doing great. How's everything? So, but with my last GPU, the 7900 XTX, they gave me a Starfield with it. Oh, okay, okay. So you were able to get your hands on Starfield at least. I tried to truly get into Starfield, but it was really hard to get into. Like, I usually love Fallout. I love a lot of Bethesda Studios games, but for some reason Starfield, I was not feeling that game. Since 5090s cost more than rent, the bundles should come with a card. Yeah, most people that end up getting a 5090 will not be able to really be able to get all the games that they want. That's why I stress on so much, like, for anybody that doesn't have the money. I know we're talking 5090, which is like way out there as it is. It's much more expensive compared to something like a 5070 or 5070 Ti. But if you look at these lower models, like the RX 9070 XT, it's still a great model. It's under $1,000, and just think about all the games that you can get, all that extra money that you have now that you would spend on a big card like a 5090, which you probably, honestly, many people don't need. uh you could purchase so many games, and you could take advantage of the Steam summer sales. So my first Bethesda game was Skyrim, so Starfield was just meh for me. Yeah. Yeah, isn't that crazy, like, how much of a difference that is? You go from somewhere that's like goated, that's like, I think one of the greatest games of definitely of all time is Skyrim, and then you go to play Starfield. Isn't FSR4 coming to the last gen? Yes, it's supposed to. It was rumored that it was supposed to come out by July for FSR4. But it seems that now it's kind of like getting mixed signals. If you guys don't know, the guy Jack from AMD pretty much said that there was like not he didn't really discuss anything officially and did not disclose that the last gen before the 7000 series is going to actually get FSR4 or not. So that wasn't disclosed because originally the rumbles that we did here was that it was going to end up coming out for the next year, which was 2027. But for the 7000 series, more than likely, it's supposed to end up coming out by July, probably mid July or something like that, for those who are looking forward to FSR4. So that's great news for you guys out there, especially for those who have been waiting on it. Also, some more great news is that if you take a look at we'll go back on here real quick. If you take a look over here and you take a look at the GPUs, for those who are in need of GPUs, you can actually get um, let me see, where is it? The RX 9070 XT for a really good deal. This one specifically by Power Color. If you have a Micro Center near you, you could pick it up for $630. And you could actually game on max 1440p, no issues whatsoever. You can give this a shot. Again, $630. Again, imagine your large library games compared to if you were to for compared to its counterparts, where it would be up against, say, like a 5070 Ti. A 5070 Ti, the lowest one you can get. Now, the only way I would suggest the 5070 Ti over the 9070 XT is for those who truly take advantage of the CUDA cores. For the ones that are using it more than just gaming, maybe you're using it for more of creation use. So the cheapest one, let's see if we can find the cheapest one available here. The cheapest one that they have is the MSI Shadow. Usually that sells out. The ASUS NVIDIA RTX 5070 Ti sold out. Though I would check, of course, the local Micro Center. This one specifically, the Miami location. And the Miami location seems like the best one that they do have available. And at the lowest rate is going to be Gigabytes GeForce RTX 5070 Ti. This is the short form factor version. Or you can go PNY. This is the 5070 Ti overclocked. Or ASUS's NVIDIA RTX 5070 Ti Prime. Those would probably be the three that you would go after. Again, a large price difference between the two. You're talking about almost $400 of a difference. What's up, Wasabi? How is every? I am at work right now. Hopefully, my last overtime. Take off my hat here. Give my hair a breather. I am at work right now. Hopefully, the last overtime so I could get the bonus for my second PC. Do it, man. I hope you can get it. I hope you can get that second PC. 5070 Ti and the 9070 XT are the only GPUs I have any luck selling. Man, lucky you, man. I gotta change up some of the configurations I feel for some of my builds, but it's been like quiet. I have heard like from like probably a couple people, but not much because of just how expensive everything is. But again, once something comes up, I'll definitely let you guys know if one of them end up going here. But yeah, it's just like what you say, Hidden. It's really tough. This is a really tough market to sell. And then when pricing goes up again, how is anybody going to afford it at this point? It's already expensive as it is. The RTX 5080 Astral is below 1,500 euros on Amazon Germany. I wish I had the money already to scoop it. Oh man, that would be an awesome deal if you're able. Yeah, they aren't. That's the problem. I think right now, I do agree with Buster. I 100% know, and I know Hidden certainly knows this as well, is that people are not being able to, they're not able to afford what they want anymore. It's just become unaffordable. It makes me feel truly bad for anyone that wants to be able to get, especially into PC gaming, and then they say this. Well, you know what? I have to add in here is the fact, of course, if you guys didn't hear, there is a rumor that's coming out, or not really truly rumor, but it did happen because we saw the manifest practically for this, which was the Steam Machine and Steam Frame that they do are shipping them. They haven't given a official date on it for anybody that is interested in the Steam Machine. It's a great option for anybody out there who wasn't able to afford a PC build, because again, it's going to definitely be a lot cheaper compared to purchasing a PC build. It is scary. I do agree, Hidden. I feel like I when I first heard the news about this, when I first heard about RAM pricing going up, um, I didn't really think too much of it. I thought of it as a phase, like anything else. We go through our phases here. We go through RAM phases. We go through GPU phases, but at the extent that they're pushing it to the point where they're trying to make sure that AI has a place here, and it's so forced upon that that's all you hear for the last past couple of years already. So Wasabi says, I have a question. Do you think Switch 2 is worth? That's a great question. Honestly, personally for me, Wasabi, Switch 2 does have a couple good games on there. I do have to say this. But for personally for me, I feel that I want to wait for the Switch 2 OLED version. The Switch 2 OLED version would be worth going out to purchase, even though the Switch 2 is honestly not a badly priced handheld, especially for what they do feature compared to every other handheld that they do have out there. Now, the closest handheld that you can compare to it, again, they're in different leagues. And of course, you want to be able to get Zelda Ocarina of Time remake, then that would be the sole choice at that point. So Buster says, I honestly think corporations are going to squeeze out of PC gaming consumer and force them into buying things like Steam Machine. Yeah, like into mass produced type of consoles, or into some sort of PC hardware that isn't truly like 100% full PC hardware. Even though it is, but you're limited to, again, to upgrading the hardware that you would like. You can that way they can concrete on their AI dreams. Yeah, I feel like it's such a terrible road for them to go to. Not that AI is, I'm not saying AI is like the worst enemy. Of course, it has its uses and it can be helpful at certain items, but the way that they're treating it is like insane, to the point where they kind of pretty much completely ignore uh, everything that they once had, what truly helped them create the empire that they had from AI. Like, it was originally created from a 1080 Ti. They SLI'd two 1080 Ti's, and they were gamers that SLI'd them and then created this whole AI. And they introduced it over to Jensen, and Jensen said, "Oh, this is great. Maybe we can use this." And ever since then, that's been their focus. So Wasabi said, totally forgot about that. I'll wait for that one. And before the end of the year, I must own the second PC for the setup so I can start streaming constantly. Yes, do it. Definitely do it. If someone builds it, we all will. Yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely read it. Is that what it's called? If someone builds it, we will all die. Thank you for the recommendation. We'll definitely take a look into that. My last machine was a 3770K with a 1080 Ti's. There you go. You actually had the first enemy of the people here, PC gamers, is the 1080 Ti's. It just makes you wonder, would they ever truly discover it if that was never truly introduced to them? Or would it always end up being discovered? Is this just fate? Like, this is meant to happen? I had the 1080 Ti SLIs with the 480 millimeter RAM. Yeah, yeah, good times. That you know, DLSS5 is like on the pretty much close to that, because again, like, if everybody remembers what was used in order to be able to do DLSS5, they did not just contain one GPU, but it contained two GPUs, and they were both 5090s. Now, not everybody's going to be able to get two 5090s to be able to do that whole task right there. Because again, that's you're talking about almost nearly $10,000 worth of GPUs there, and a system in order for you to be able to achieve that. So, of course, NVIDIA wants to be able to reach neural rendering. That's the whole goal when it comes to gaming. And if they do this, they would have to somehow, again, compress it into one GPU. It can be done if they have fast enough memory, which is possible now with the new G7, where they got 3 GB per memory controller, not memory controller, memory chip. So imagine, just imagine how expensive it could truly get. So yeah, two 5090 Ti, two not 50, 5090 Ti's, 5090s. I mean, that would be wild. But back then, to a regular dude who can get 1080 Ti SLI, now it's Untanium. Yes. So I still run. That's exactly what I need. I need some coffee. I still run on a 3070 play GTA 5 at 60 frames without issues. With a 5060 Ti, it's my retro gaming machine. That's awesome. It truly is awesome to have a retro machine because some games just do not play as well. Like I think back to the games, like the old ones, especially the old DOS games, such as like Duke Nukem, and you think of what was it? Was it MK Ultra? Like all those type of games where you had to run DOS pretty much to run them. They will not run the same. What's up, Takuma? Great to see you. I have a 5080 and a 4070 PC. Is there a way to combine the compute power? Not really. Not gaming wise or anything like that. If you're talking about more so, like if you're trying to stack, like as in LLMs, yes, you can do it in that type of sense. But you can't do it in a sense of like gaming wise. Even back then, it wasn't possible with SLI. What it would do was just give you more VRAM at the time. I gotta say, it was a very interesting era. Even though you thought you had a awesome setup, and this is back when SLI had like LAN parties. Like you had to have a LAN party board. But it would be great to bring that back. I would love to have that once again. And that's probably gonna end up being more common. It's two separate. Oh, it's two separate PCs. Um, not really. Not in that type of sense. 5080s and a 4070 GPU, either LLMs. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. Somebody was actually doing that because they thought like PhysX was dead too. So somebody actually combined a 30, I think it was a 3070, a 3060 or 3070, and they combined it with a 5090 in order to achieve PhysX. But of course, they brought it back. They have advanced physics now onto the 5090s. But it's something that truly isn't being used as much anymore. So it is kind of pointless to do it in that sense. But yeah, just like LLMs, or that's the only truly true way to use it. Some people would use it to mine, as we were discussing a bit earlier. But that's like not no longer worth it at this time, I feel like. So dedicated physics is hilarious enough with the fixed performance issues with Batman Arkham Knight back at launch. Our current GPUs are able to, yeah, pretty much. Especially now. Do you remember like how much trouble it actually was, like to run Dark Knight? Like how much trouble it was when the first, I forget exactly which card it was, but I do remember. I think it was the nine. Was it the 980? I think it was the 980 at the time. The GTX 980 had trouble running Batman Dark Knight, and Nvidia would come out with updates like nearly constantly. It was almost like every 3 or 4 days they would have an update. And the biggest issue that they had, or that they were trying to resolve, was how to truly fix Dark Knight. And it took them about a month to finally go through it. And it was pretty much a blame game too, because they were blaming the developer, Rocksteady, and they were also blaming Nvidia for not working correctly as well. But even though it was supposed to be optimized for Nvidia, and I think if I remember correctly too, I believe that Nvidia actually packed the game with the GPU as well. But um, enough of that. So with the whole PC hardware pricing going up, I do want to bring up a couple things. Nvidia is working with SK Hynix now, so they actually created up a partnership, and because of this partnership, they pretty much uh, warned that the memory supply constraints could last up to 2030. So if it lasts up to 2030, it's already a bad enough issue. We thought it was already bad when they said that it could last up to 2028. Now we're hearing up to 2030. And Nvidia Nvidia, SK Hynix are not truly the first ones that we hear of from this. We heard MSI had a really rough year as well, and they pretty much said that expect the constraints to be ongoing, ongoing issue, and they pretty much kind of repeated a similar phrase to where you can expect until about 2030 for these hardware constraints to continue on, for these for PC hardware pricing to be continued to be propped up. So and it's a big warning. It's truly a big warning for things to come. I mean, Xbox is already suffering as it is, when it comes to their whole how much they spent when it comes to the memory side, how much they spent when it comes to the whole storage side. Of course, Xbox Series X or Series S, they don't truly have the upgradable storage, so they have to have it pretty much inside of the actual system itself. Um, as ridiculous as that sounds, they do have their own expansion drive that you can use for an Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S as well if you needed it. But again, the pricing, it does not fix the pricing for this. So now a perfect time for Microsoft to release the Xbox. The Xbox 3. I mean, we're getting there. We're getting to that point. I mean, have you guys got to check out AMD? They actually teamed up with a company that's coming out with Retro N64. It's actually really dope. I actually would love to have it. It could actually play the original N64 cartridges. But so many people are downers about it. They're like, can you imagine trying to upscale a Nintendo 64 game? I'm sure it'll do well. I mean, if it has the correct way to be able to upscale it with AMD's technology, it could end up looking a lot better than many people think. It could end up looking really good. I'm really curious to see how it's going to turn out. I believe the system's like going to be probably. I wonder how much they're going to charge for it. I think it's like probably that 250 range from what I'm hearing. But if AMD does this, it's going to be amazing. Yeah, Tetris in 4K. I think the immediate game I think of when it comes to 64. Not only do I think of like do I think of Zelda games, I think about the original Super Smash Brothers. I also think of Mario 64, and of course some of those hidden gems that we have, like especially back then. Just think about uh, Diddy Kong Racing. I love that game. I think that game was great. I'm surprised that they never even came out with another one. Diddy Kong Racing was amazing, and WizPig was freaking tough. I would always have trouble going up against WizPig. But Bob says, got to go with the integer scaling and take advantage of any game that had a high resolution mode with the expansion pack with a overclock to fix the frame rate. Oh, really? Yeah, that I can you imagine how that would turn out with think about like the games like that. You know what that actually makes me think of? It makes me think of you're thinking of, what was it called? Donkey Kong? Was it Donkey Kong? That I think there was a full title for that too. But Donkey Kong game. Yeah, exactly. Games like that. That would be truly interesting. But yeah, that's one of the issues that we certainly have to worry about. Also, only game I remember that I had resolution mode was the infamous Castlevania 64. Oh yeah. Yeah. Amazing times though. Games that you would definitely play again. I bet anybody here would certainly go back and play some of those 64 games. You know what? Actually, That would actually make a great poll question. I haven't got a chance to throw any poll question to you guys, so I'll throw it out there for you. And would you guys? Let me see here. Let me go over here so I can get to my poll, and there we go. Would you get a 4K Nintendo 64? There you go, guys. So would you be interested in getting a 4K 64? You feel free to vote by 1 and 2. That is how you vote. Feel free to vote. I ran two AMD cards. I ran two AMD cards way back in the day, and it seemed like it helped it and it looked cool. Oh, really? That would so you ran Crossfire. That's what you ran at the time. Crossfire was like the competitor to Nvidia's SLI, if anybody remembers that. Would you get a 4K 64, guys? Out of curiosity. Would you guys get that type of system? How much do you think Steam Machine might end up costing? I want to get 500. Oh, that's a great question. I wonder why that didn't come up. There we go. The Steam Machine. I just saw your question. So, I believe the Steam Machine will end up costing around, uh, let's see, without the controller, 512 gigabytes. More than likely, it's going to end up costing at the minimum. It's gonna be at the minimum if they price it really well, maybe at thousands. Probably like it. Oh, with the controller, like probably like about 1100, maybe 1100 if that's the case. If they tried to keep the pricing as tight as possible. So I also ran Crossfire, but I remember that only one game I couldn't get to work. Don't remember what game it was. Uh thanks, I couldn't remember what they were called. It kind of sucked buying two video cards. Yeah, at the time it was expensive. At the time it was really expensive to get two video cards. The other games wouldn't use the second GPU. I was not a big N64 guy, although I later loved Smash 64 thanks to emulators. So no, okay. I think a lot of people who already emulate as it is probably would give it a hard pass. I am a GameCube guy here. Thanks to the console, I am here. Oh, really? Yeah, GameCube was a great system too. That was like one of those underrated. It actually performed well. I remember the graphics were awesome. They were really awesome for the GPU. Recommend recommend website with automatic sign-in. Swims. Okay. Oh, I'm reading the wrong thing. There we go. Actually, that was 20 years ago. I was running two video cards. I think they had 1 GB memory. Actually, there's something I wanted to do, guys, because I know it's hard to see for you guys on the chat box. I'm going to try adjusting here a little bit. I'm going to adjust my OBS here so we can see. So, let me see. I'll take away that poll here. Let me see. Because I know I've always realized this, but I'm going to fix this for you guys. Let me see. There we go. So I'm going to update my link here. And let me see. Mechanics. Let me see if I can get this right for you guys. Viewer bar background color. All right, let me see if this helps any. So I'm going to update the chat real quick. There we go. Hopefully that helps some. And I'll move this up here. Maybe it's better up here, I think. Right? Oh, wait. What the heck? There we go. I don't know how that happened. I apologize for that. Now I got a big chat box up. Let me see if I can fix this real quick. Let me see. I got that up there and give me a second, guys. That's weird. I think it's the overlay. I know we got a chat box XX, triple X, double XL here. All right. Let me go back here, guys. So what I'll do, I just got to figure out which. Oh, okay. Let me delete that. And oh, I see what happened. Okay, that's right. Yeah, I know. It's always fun messing with all the different layers here, right? Logo, view counter, modes. Oh, I see. Okay, I see what I did. Give me a second, guys. It's about to be fixed. There we go. Perfect. Hopefully that's better. I'm trying to get you guys more of a darker background real quick. Yeah. It's going good. It's going good for the most part. Except when I went double XL. All right, so what's increased? Luckily, nothing, not yet. Nothing has increased quite yet. But it is forthcoming though. It's more than likely we're going to see like a price increase within the next month. So if you don't have PC hardware, it's almost like they're threatening us. Like if you don't get PC hardware now, the pricing is just going to continue to go up and there's nothing you can do. Either buy it now or pay the more expensive price. That's pretty much what it seems like they're telling us. Clara's Micro Center 5070 Ti are all the more expensive. It's the same here. Like even here, it's still the more expensive RTX 5070 Ti's. They do have the short form factor ones available, but again, it just doesn't make any sense for them to charge such a uh incredible amount. Truly. And can you just imagine they just tack on another $200 on top of it? Because that's like pretty much the point where we're headed to. And already Xbox is pretty much saying we're taking losses. We're selling at a loss as of now. Again, nothing new when it comes to consoles, when it comes to selling at a loss, because they know they get it back from games and software. But for them to really say we're selling at a loss means that they're losing quite a significant amount there. It truly does. I think it kind of sucks with all the advancements in the last 20 years that I still have as many, if not more, issues with games. And hopefully that needs to truly be worked on, especially now. Shake my head. Bubble may pop, but when it does, everything will go up because of inflation. Absolutely. Um, it seems like it's going to be one or the other, and it's truly become unaffordable because many people out there are unable to truly afford a. They're unable to be able to afford anything right now. The people are having a hard time being able to purchase a PC as it is now. So I finished my second PC build for the most part, and just wanted to say to get my CPU on Prime Day, if not Micro Center here. It won't ever change. It almost feels like that. It's we're getting to the point where it feels like it's not going to happen. And yes, that is true. Unreal Engine 6 is coming, so prepare for it. So, can you guys could already imagine Unreal Engine 6 is already a very I mean, Unreal Engine 5 is already very demanding as it is. So just imagine how Unreal Engine 6 is going to be. I hope it's a better improvement. I hope it's much better than it originally was, but it's just going to be quite demanding. I've said it before. I built my computer about 4 months ago, maybe 5. It was way too much then, but I wouldn't do it now for nothing. Yeah, a lot of people wouldn't. Xbox and PS6 cost will be equal to a PC cost, and it's almost at that time of our life, really, to say like, is it truly worth getting a console now? Would anyone really truly purchase a console at that price? It's almost a similar question because I'll send out a survey out there, a question. I'll ask everybody out there: would you be willing to purchase? Would you be willing to purchase a $1,000 console? Just truly think about it. Would it be truly worth spending that type of money on it? So, would you purchase a $1,000 console? Doesn't matter if it's PS6, doesn't matter if it's Xbox Project Helix, but would you guys do it? So every time there's a new tech, there's promise that we'll get more for the price. CDs were supposed to be cheaper than cassettes were, and then they never were. Same with DVDs, cheaper than VCR tapes. Yeah, it's almost like the technology improves, but we end up paying more regardless. We're at the point where they don't even sell physical games, but yet they're still charging physical game price. So many people would not. Why does it say Nvidia? What the heck? That's weird. Exact, yes, exact vote. That's weird. Looks like my poll kind of glitched out there. And it's not working properly. Let me fix this too. I thought it was going great. Alright, let me just double check the poll here and see if it's working. Let me refresh it, reset. I think there's something wrong with this thing, so I'm going to try to reset it real quick. There we go. Now it's reset. For some reason it wasn't. NVIDIA. There we go. Yeah, Murphy's Law. NVIDIA equals no. For that price. There you go. I think they're tapped out on video cards. Even the 5090 struggles in some games. Yeah. I just reset it. Oh, what? That is so weird. Why is it doing that? I wonder why it did that. That's so strange. They must really don't want people to go back to NVIDIA. Reset poll. Hopefully it stays. It seems like it's not working. That's so strange. Oh, I have an idea why. Let me try something. NVIDIA, no to him. No to NVIDIA and no to consoles. Only GTA has people considering console again for an extra fee of $20 a month. We will eliminate this glitch. That is insane. It should be working though. Now the poll should be working. Let me just try something here. I'm going to vote myself and put no. Yeah, it seems like it's not working. Yeah. What is wrong with my poll system? Let me try this. I'm going to end poll. Oh, there you go. Now it's working. Now it looks like it's working. Beautiful. It figures that would happen. We got a lot of news. So a lot of people out there would not be willing to spend $1,000 on a console. It would be a waste. Look, well, I buy the PS6, probably not, but that's the future. But these prices are making it unappetizing for sure. Plus, I feel like they haven't put out enough for the current gen that warrants paying so much for the next gen. I do agree with that. I feel like if they actually came out with a much better console, um, Jensen, no, he probably has his team of ninjas right now watching. Are you interested in reviewing a GPU from the newly created 4-pillar board threads? Uh, that would be pretty funny. I spent like $4,000 on my computer build. I'm not that impressed. It looks pretty. If can save that much, might as well go all into a PC. Yeah, at that point, you might as well just build a PC. Like if you're already breaking the 3-digit mark and you go into the 4 digits, why not just go to PC? Um, so we got a lot of news here. So there's certainly definitely quite a super Threadripper by 2030. Yes, we got 180 for the Threadripper build. Thank you, Hidden, for the big donation. Certainly appreciate it. We got 180. It'll be closer to 6,000 right now. 5 months later. Yes. Yes, I think it will. Hopefully. Let's just hope that Threadripper itself doesn't turn into 6,000 anymore. If you didn't know, Morse Threads is a Chinese GPU manufacturer. I believe the first GPU that came out sometime to. Oh, really? I did not. I actually did not know that. In 2030. Oh, do not do that. Can you imagine that? How terrible that would be? At that point, I would really have to go onto my knees for these these brands to help us out here, because it's gonna that would be truly rough. Can you imagine? Did you guys get to see Origin Code's RAM kit? It's so crazy. Origin Code has a really nice RAM kit, but it's expensive, 128 gigabytes per stick. Um, really nice looking RAM kits. Wallet Ripper, yeah, Wallet Tripper. OnlyFans account, yeah. There you go. It's good. Can you? That would be pretty funny. Per stick, yeah, per stick. Oh, that would be pretty funny. I'll match that. Awesome. We got 190 now. Am I counting right? 100? Yeah, 100. We're getting there. 190 for the Threadripper build now. Big thanks. Wasabi did a big donation too last week. So we got 190 total, 191. Can't forget the extra dollar there. So I'm so glad I got the Steam Deck early this year before the price increase. I couldn't afford a decent laptop or a desktop, at least now. I do have a way to play games even though they're not high fidelity. Hey, you can enjoy them. It doesn't matter. As long as if you got something, you could get to experience what it's like to have the Steam store. So we got a lot of news. We haven't had one yes willing to spend it. Temper your expectation through the despite having 16 gigabytes of G6. Yeah, it can run Cyberpunk at with 1080p low with 22 frames per second average. You will just need a GoFundMe. I need uh big thanks to Hidden Bull and Tony. Big thanks to the both of them for making that possible. And OnlyFans just for the RAM kit. And GoFundMe. I'm gonna have to need anything, everything. You rock Hidden Bull. Yeah, if it plays like you will like it. I never think about ray tracing after about 5 minutes into a game. Most people don't. It's almost like that whole mental side of things. Originally, if you guys remember when ray tracing first released here, ray tracing was actually debated amongst a lot of people. They felt like this was not truly a good idea. That ray tracing was not going to turn out that great. And did you guys know? And I know some of you guys certainly do know, but ray tracing was actually manually. I missed that one. Why did that not come up? Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony, for renewing your membership. We'll certainly go into it. Small bank loan for just a PC with a 5-year payment. I, I got a PS5 Pro for 650. Oh, and what I wanted to say was that ray tracing could actually be pretty much manually put into a game. Not like by every single type of light reflection or anything like that, but did you know the 3D artists, when they do create the games, they could actually add it in there without needing the requirements of doing ray tracing. That was always optional. If a game was well enough, a perfect example is if you think about Splinter Cell. That was on Xbox, right? And that was before original RTX, before ray tracing. And do you guys remember how well Splinter Cell looked on Xbox when it came to the shadows, when it came to the lighting? Because that was all manually pretty much put into the game. So that can certainly be done. It just, of course, takes more time and more effort for a studio to do this. But ray tracing is actually technically not truly needed. It just makes everything easier because once you create these certain aspects in the game, such as lighting, it would automatically detect that it's lighting and would know how the lighting would act to the environment. So, but many developers, of course, took advantage of this and say, "Hey, we don't even have to do this no more. We just create the what we need for the game, and the rest of it will make it easier when it comes to ray tracing and path tracing." So I got the PS5 Pro for 650 during the last year's Days of Play when it was on sale. Oh, really? That's actually a really good deal to get your hands on that for awesome for 650. Rasterization works better in fixed lighting scenarios. Scenes where dynamic day and night cycles are not being used. Ray tracing lighting is used because of more day and night cycles. That makes sense too. So, but I do know like there's developers out there that do make great games that are able to do this without the assistance of using ray tracing. And I remember, I forget exactly which I should have added this to my list, but there was a game out there, a developer that was determined to release this game, and it looked great. But he showed what he can do without using the needs of using ray tracing. So I don't think it's Unreal Engine's fault because some developers do well with it. I think it's the developer's fault. So you certainly think it gets a lot of slack more than anything. It gets it gets hit hard because there's more developers that aren't willing to put the time and effort into their art. Well, actually, more than just day and night cycles. Interesting. That is interesting, Bob. Um, but I do believe that game developers can certainly improve in that sense, especially for what we have for today's standards. They should pretty much go off I like the idea of going off like an Xbox 360, a standard as the minimum requirement, and trying to do your best off of it. Because when you truly think about it, um, I wouldn't say not the 360 I'm going to use for example, but I would say back in PS4 and Xbox One era, Series One era, not Series One, Xbox One. When it came back to that era, I think that would probably be the good basis to pretty much build a game off of. especially because of today's standards when it comes to hardware and where it's going to. I certainly think that that would certainly be the way to go when it comes to building a game at the most minimal way possible. Uh, I think it would certainly uh, attract people that to still be willing to purchase games at this point. If the game is so demanding, more and more people are definitely going to shy away from purchasing. They feel like that you have to have the best hardware in order for you to actually be able to enjoy gaming. So I don't think the devs' fault. It's the game companies keep understaffing, unreal time constraints, and layoffs to okay, I'm real time constraints and layoffs and save money. That's why we get unfinished games at release. That's also a good portion of it. I mean, take a look at. I'll take away that poll since we pretty much have a bit hard to know on that. But I do agree with that in a sense too, because you do have these game companies like, for example, if you guys already heard with the whole GTA 6, that they pretty much unionized because they had a big they were union, but they really wanted to push for a good union to for GTA 6 at Take Two Interactive, and the reason being is because there was a issue when it came to the work. It was very demanding there, and eventually they formed this whole union, and now that way they don't get in trouble for have working so many hours. I guess they were demanding so many hours for these developers to be forced to work. And this happened like probably roughly about like 3 weeks ago when they did this. So AMD is bringing FSR 4.1 to older hardware. It's going to be a lifesaver during this high price time. We're living through many people have never experienced ray tracing now, may never experience it. I gotta say, like for anyone that owns a PC now, you may want to hold on to it. You may want to hold on to your PCs regardless of what the specifications are anymore. Devs are lazy, but there is a practice of moving the devs off to a game to the new project, and the secondary team keeps it running. Yeah, I can see the top guys. I get that's typically like a hierarchy issue when it comes to the top guys do um pretty much the like because they're the top, they feel that they could get away with not doing so much, and then they pass it on to the second team. So I can certainly see that. All these people unionizing is hilarious. They have no idea that they still can get fired at will. All you have to do is call a reduction in force. Yeah, pretty much what they would do is yeah, it's just like anything else. They still could get pretty much abolished. That's what would happen. They I believe they call that abolishments, and that they would end up just be out of a job, like pretty much like layoffs at that point. But yes, that can certainly still happen. They even brought out like a little trailer of it, if you guys got to see it, of the Take Two Interactive pretty much like getting together and which we could definitely take a look at. I just gotta find it here. Let me see. Oh, I'll find it right now, and I'll share it with you guys. I worked at a union shop for 30 years. One in can someone reduction in force, and it was not by seniority either. Oh, really? Damn, that sucks. If that's the case, that really sucks. Take Two Interactive Union. Let me see. Where is it? I think they called it the GTA 6 trailer you've all been waiting for. Something like that. I'll find it. Let me see. GTA 6 trailer you've all been waiting. Yeah, here we go. Where was it? And watch it be hard to find too. I know where I can find it actually. I'll find it right here. I actually have it posted here. Let me see. I'll find it, guys. I keep getting game crashes in Steam. It's been driving me nuts, and it's me. Oh, which game? Which game are you having problems with? Let me see. Right. Oh, here it is. I found it. Okay. So we can watch this together, guys. So this is what they put out for GTA 6. Too many to list. Really? It's a lot of them. Let me put my headphones on so I can hear with you guys. Hopefully YouTube doesn't get angry.
Never could have predicted what happened over the last 6 months.
Let me know if that's good when it comes to the volume.
On the 30th of October 2025, Rockstar dismissed 31 workers affected immediately, accusing them of gross misconduct.
Let me fix this.
Officers were escorted from the building, and staff working from home were
there you go.
out of their project and all their online work accounts. Every one of the UK workers dismissed are part of this union in what we believe
Grand Theft Employment. Many developers are in the process of restructuring their workflow right now. They got green light to stop DEI hiring. Things are going to be very different in the near future quality wise. Yes. They never should. So 30 people. That's right, because you guys remember that.
Making sure they lost not only their jobs, but their homes, their pets, and their communities. But Rockstar's sudden firings didn't crush our union. Instead, we are now bigger and stronger than ever, with more and more workers joining from across every one of Rockstar's sites in Edinburgh, London, Leeds, Lincoln, and Dundee. Together,
here we go again.
Things we want to change, starting with pay transparency, flexible working, and an end to crunch.
So it makes you wonder if GTA 6 is going to truly release on time in November.
The date for the final hearing has now been set, and as we approach that time, we are pouring everything we have into building our legal case to be as strong as possible. We are determined to win justice.
You know, honestly, it's like one of the... They are actually weaker than most HR departments. Now, that is true. You see, this came out a couple of weeks ago, this video. Oh, that's nice. You can donate to them. Nice. Donate to the unions. That's very typical. So when they put games on the disc, they were mostly finished or no less bugs. And let me see. Let me go back here, guys. Yeah, so that's pretty much GTA 6. Main reason why they unionize is because they're afraid of pretty much getting fired for not performing the work that they were supposed to do. And of course, we don't know the full backgrounds or the full extent of what happened. Maybe certain work did not get completed and they ended up getting let go. But again, when it comes to unions too, you still have to be willing to finish the work and complete work. And if you don't do that, you still technically could get fired. And I'm sure Buster can certainly share a lot of info on that too as well. That you have to be able to, you still have tasks that you need to complete, even though that there's going to be people that work there that may not fulfill some of those tasks. The other work has to be made up by other workers, so to say. So, to being, and I think that's the one of the bigger issues there. They think a union will protect them. I used to fire union workers all the time. Yeah, it's rough. I mean, that is certainly going to be rough. and they still got a lot of these expectations of releasing Grand Theft Auto 6. And for you guys, everybody here that got to really see that, what are your thoughts of this? Do you think that GTA 6 would end up getting released at a timely manner? Or do you think this is going to actually end up delaying in GTA 6? Do you think the union? Do you think a union take two interactive would delay GTA 6? So out of curiosity, let's see the votes here. So I absolutely hate modern unions. They drive inflation just as much as oil prices and memory shortages. I was a 30-year Teamster in a construction company. If you were on my crew. Oh, great. The is the oh. What is this poll doing? I went to back to AMD and Nvidia. Apologize. Let me try this again, guys. Let's reset the poll. I'll end poll, and we're gonna try this again. It's yes or no. There we go. I don't know why it's doing that. Definitely has that glitch there. Have you tried Fake Keeper yet? It uses Unreal and it runs. No, I have not. I have not tried Fake Keeper. Okay, now it's working, guys. Now we're good. AMD, I know, right? It seems like they don't want to end that the whole AMD versus Nvidia war here. There we go. So yes, now because of this, do you think this is partially the reason why we haven't seen the trailer for GTA 6? Is because they're not as far along as they should be? As for unions driving inflation, less than 5% of the US workforce is covered by a union nowadays, so I don't think they are driving much. Local politics and minimum wage drives more. So it's only 8, it's startup, but there's quite a bit of play in it. Oh, okay, okay. Definitely got to take a look at that. I have to see that title. So is it like more of a what type of genre is it? So it seems like a lot of people believe the union will definitely delay the game in some sort of matter. I truly still believe that I have some sort of hope, especially for you guys that are in Florida here, that in FIFA, like during the Miami game, that they will reveal the trailer. What do you guys think? Do you think they will reveal the GTA 6 during the FIFA tournament, like at in Miami? I'm hoping for that. Hope I know I'm probably hoping on pipe dreams here because it might not even happen. But uh damn. Yeah, it's kind of depressing thinking that they end up delaying GTA 6. And you know the wild part is so many people actually requested for that specific week off to have when GTA 6 releases that apparently was like a record number of people that requested that day off. Mm. Also says no. He believes that no, I am not going to the FIFA game. I am not. It's expensive too. Like I think the cheapest ticket to get to the FIFA game is like I think it was $4,000 was the cheapest ticket. So no. Unfortunately, not going there. It will be the same. People that are delaying it now in the union, so it kind of hard. Yeah, so it's a mix. You have a mix of people that are unionized. It's hard to say this know exactly how many workers are unionized because it sounds like not all of them are. It sounds like they're trying to get more people to join in on the union to be protected. Um, so it makes you wonder how many people are unionized, how many people are not. Some people probably have the fear, some people are just probably not interested. So union workers dominate production of the specific products, which directly influence the price of most products. So they still cause way more than 5%. It's just indirect instead of direct. So 1. Okay, so it seems like most people here believes that GTA 6 will end up getting delayed here. So buying a FIFA ticket is like getting a 50. Yeah, exactly. You only have it like for the 3 to 4 hours, and that's it. My city is hosting FIFA events. I'm not a soccer fan, but they increase frequencies of video vehicles in my public transit system. So yeah, that makes it a lot easier. At least you're able to get back and forth a lot easier. That certainly is uh nice to have. So it sounds like most people believe that GTA 6 will end up being delayed, but let's hope not. Let's certainly hope for the best. Uh let's hope that they end up producing it on time here. I can commute to that makes it nice and smooth there. So I'll end the poll here. Sounds like we're good on the votes here. Hopefully we don't see no more Nvidia and AMD pop up anymore. That's so weird that it does that. Uh never really have that issue. Sounds like they're really at each other's necks here. But for anyone that is coming in and that is curious about the whole price hardware costs when it comes to PCs, it seems like there is indication that it could go up as pretty much really high, double in price again, once again. And as in for Xbox, they said that it almost went 10 times more than they expected, which is truly an insane thing to say. So Buster says the main union impacts are in the ports. The rest of the union issues are local. Even truck drivers are a majority non-union. Construction is a majority non-union. Most meat pack. Okay. Yeah, I definitely I should actually I'll throw out a poll real quick, just out of curiosity here. I know this isn't really truly hardware, PC hardware related, but you guys can feel free to ask. Just out of curiosity, it does make me curious. How are you a union worker? So I'm gonna throw out a poll. Hopefully it doesn't go NVIDIA and AMD because that would be weird. Are you a union worker? Yeah. Now you don't have to answer if you don't feel comfortable answering. That would make sense. But feel free to answer if you would like to. We're all union. Yeah, of course it goes back. AMD, AMD and NVIDIA. Okay, let me reset it, guys. I'm gonna do this again. There we go. All right. Sorry, guys. Do it once again. Hopefully this time it should work now. I don't know what the deal is with AMD. They're getting involved in everything, and so is NVIDIA. Maybe they want to get involved in the whole union. There we go. Former anyway. Okay, okay. So yeah, so you're going to have a mixed majority of those. This is very interesting because this will give you kind of an indication of how many people were involved. I was born in the Soviet. Does that count? That's an interesting one. It's always been expensive to build computers. I paid over $400 for a 80 gigabyte. Yes, it's true. It's always been expensive to build PCs. Um, but it does make you truly question, like, are we just getting to the point? Are we at the time now, like where we're kind of catching up to where we should have been? And if that's the case, that's scary. That just gives you indication of how expensive it's really could get. Or it could be the other side of the ladder where it could be that because the technology is cheaper now, that more and more people are willing to do it. More and more people are willing to spend on it, so the costs go tremendously down because of it. Could that be the possible reason? So, uh, okay, nice. Nothing wrong with that. In order to vote DeAndre, you can just put one or two, and that will allow you to get in the poll. So it's always been expensive to build computers. Just read that, sorry. And when it just comes to the computers tech industry, there are almost no unions. Yeah, that is true. Not a lot of unions in the tech field. Could you imagine if there was union workers for programmers? That would be pretty interesting, right? For programming unions. I mean, it could happen. You never know in the near future, especially with especially today. As far as we're getting with AI, I wouldn't be surprised. Nice. Okay. But I can tell you, I do know the foundries, they're also union. Like when it comes to like semiconductors, like certain semiconductors, they do have unions for the foundries. Just not in the whole actual IT field. But yeah, that's interesting. So you get a pretty good mix there. So my family's first computer cost almost 5,000 in 1980. Yeah, exactly. It was insanely expensive. That would easily cost more than 10K now when factoring inflation. So if anything, even the current price hike isn't as bad as the 1980s. I do agree. I that's what scares me. I just think back about like when my family ended up getting a Sony Vaio, one of the first PCs that they had. It was a $3,000 PC. They called it a Vio entertainment system because it came with the monitor, it came with the keyboard, mouse, that came with the actual PC, the tower, and then it came with speakers. No, it was built into the speaker, the monitor. And it was also, what else did it come with? I think that was it. I think that was pretty much it. And but it was a $3,000 PC, and this was back in 94 and 95. So unions are making a bit of a comeback due to the fact that companies are offering fewer benefits in many fields. So they're trying to take advantage of better benefits here, it seems. So I remember I got a deal on a 17-inch square LCD monitor for 600. I remember when the Samsung monitors, it's funny. I think I was just speaking of this. They were really expensive at the time. They were almost like it was like $400 or $500 for a LCD monitor. So I remember my first 486 back in the late 80s or early 90s. It was 2500 or so with a huge CRT. It was color though. Yeah. I mean but they were amazing though. They were heavy. And I remember that the monitor was actually truly glass. I'm sure you guys remember that too. Like you could tap on the screen. I would tap on it, I remember, and it would be straight solid glass. My friend had like a 20-inch that was like 2,500 bucks. That's insane. So hopefully this makes some of us feel a bit better about the pricing and hardware. Some optimism here when it comes to PCs. And it sounds like it looks like we got quite a good mix here. We got a mix of people here that are also let me see. Oop, let me fix this. There we go. So it looks like we have 40% that are union. And let me get this right. Let me see if I can see this correctly because it's very small, the poll. There we go. 40% are union, 60% are not. Very interesting. So yeah, gives you a good indication of truly how much of a mix it could be between union and union workers and non-union workers. So I bought a Dreamcast way back when I couldn't because I could afford it, a computer, and I just wanted to go online. I love Dreamcast. Dreamcast was amazing. It was an amazing system. Now, when I was younger, I was never able to get Dreamcast when it first released. Of course, there was some hard times with my family, and they were unable to get something like that for me. Uh, but luckily, I had a friend who pretty much got like what he wanted, like pretty much got everything he wanted. And when Dreamcast ended up they decided to close up their doors and saying, "Hey, we're not going to produce any more games anymore." And once it hit that point, he actually ended up selling his Dreamcast over to me, and he sold it for me for like a really good deal, with all the games too with it for I think it was like $10. I bought everything. It came with Resident Evil Veronica, which I never got to beat. I'm excited and hyped for once that releases. It also came with Shenmue, and what else did it come with? It came with Sonic and uh, one more other game. I think Fantasy Star was the other one. Like 4 games. He had 4 games for it. Dreamcast, extra controller. Sold it to me for only $10. I couldn't refuse that deal, so I did. I went with that purchase. Um, Dreamcast, did they have dial-up? PS2 did. PS2 did have dial-up services. I believe with I believe with Dreamcast. I almost said Comcast. I believe Dreamcast had I think they had both too, if I'm not mistaken. So unions are a good thing until they get too big. Then corruption takes over and everyone on both sides gets screwed. That's the problem. We live in a time where everything has gotten too big. Yeah, I mean, population has certainly increased. And of course, that's the unfortunate case. But I thank everybody for coming into the wonderful stream today. I especially thank Tony and Annellis. And I got to thank uh, and I also got to thank Hidden Bull, of course. Of course, we're getting closer to our Threadripper build. Thank you, Dark Style. Thank you, Leads Star Dude. Thank you, Tinfoil Hatter, for being part of us. Thank you, Bob Barkinson, for coming in. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Ernesto. Thank you, Wasabi. Thank you, Takuma. Dreamcast had a 50. Yeah, that's what it was. It's been a while. UPS used to deliver, and you just gave them the money when you got the package. That was pretty good. Oh yeah, that's how it used to go, huh? That's pretty wild to think about. But I do appreciate you guys. Thank you, Buster. Thank you, TBK, for being part of us. Thank you, Lead Star Dude. Thank you all. Thank you, honestly, all for being part of the wonderful stream. And looking forward to catch you on upcoming Wednesday. If I do stream once again, thank you, Kin. If I do stream once again sometime this weekend, I will let you guys know. For all you wonderful members out there, I am releasing the video to you guys exclusively after the stream to kind of talk a little bit more in depth about the price increases. And I'm glad everyone enjoyed it. Um, maybe streamers will have a union, right? All right, fam bam. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you the next time or on Wednesday, depending on if I get on Forza. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a wonderful weekend.